Hello, everybody. Welcome to CKAD Lab 65 Part 2. When we left off, I couldn't figure out, even though, so let's look at the deployment. Let's look at the pods. It still says pending, and if I do describe pod that, and it will say that same error, right? So what's going on? And I thought, so what I did, I described the deployment. And I looked at the wrong thing. I looked at the pod template labels app foo. That is not the label for Affinity for two nodes. That's the pods it will pick up in the back end to create the deployment. So I still don't know why it's not getting scheduled, but it did give me a clue saying in the error message previously saying there's Affinity involved. So unfortunately, when you do describe the deployment, it doesn't talk about any of the Affinity. So what you have to do is you have to get the YAML. So k get deploy minus deploy foo dash redis. That's the name of the deployment. Minus o for output YAML. If you do that, you will see that there's no Affinity involved. And then Affinity is pointing to a label foo equals bar, or foo, at least it has to, bar has to be in it. It has to be one of the elements. So now I'm going to try and add that label. Let's get nodes, k label, nodes, name of the node, and this time it will be foo equals bar. Okay, now let's look at the pods again. It is no longer pending, at least one of them. So let's see what's going on with the container creating. Still creating. It shouldn't take this long. So let's look at what else is going on. So k describe pod, this pod, and look at the events and see what's happening. Events. Okay, the next event, mount volume setup, fail for volume CM1, config map CM not found. Okay, so if I look at deployment in the YAML file, you will see the pods have volume mounted on them. So template, spec, affinity, containers, and there's volume. And the volume is looking for a config map CM1. All right, so do we have that? Okay, get CM. We don't have that, so let's create that. Let's create CM minus H, for example. And we will just create a simple one from literal. Yeah, that should do the trick. So we will change some of the parameters around. The name has to match. It has to be CM1. And I don't think it matters what's in it, but let's just say foo equals bar, just for now. Right? Now we look at CMs. We have one called CM1. Now let's look at get pods. Still continue creating. That's interesting. Okay, let's describe pod. Need to put the word pod in it. All right. Unable to attach or mount volume, unmounted volume unattached. Timed out waiting for the condition. Setup failed for volume CM1. All right, I'll have to take a look at that in part 3 of this video, and I will see you there.